Hi guys, it's Ethan. Just wanted to share a short message with you for your Sunday morning. Sorry if you hear any sort of background noise. Got the windows open. It's a nice day today and I'm trying not to turn on the air conditioning this early in the year. So the message I'll be bringing to you today is from Matthew chapter 6. So if you want to turn there, that's what we'll be reading. I've got the New American Standard Version here. That's my translation of choice, but feel free to use whatever you're comfortable with, of course. I'm going to start around verse 25. For this reason I say to you, do not be worried about your life, as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor for your body, as to what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not worth much more than they? And who of you, being worried, can add a single hour to his life? And why are you worried about clothing? Observe now how the lilies of the field grow. They do not toil, nor do they spin. Yet I say to you that not even Solomon in all his glory clothed himself like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown to the furnace, will he not much more clothe you? You of little faith. Do not worry then, saying, what will we eat? What will we drink? What will we wear? For the Gentiles eagerly seek all these things. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all of these things. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will care for itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own. You know, context really matters when you're talking about things like this. It's certainly very tempting to let ourselves get bogged down by the day-to-day things of life. After all, this is where we live. This is the body we're experiencing our life through. These are the circumstances we find ourselves in. And there's certainly nothing wrong with being concerned with your health or your state of mind. And in fact, we know for a fact that's not what Jesus is talking about here. It is perfectly natural to be concerned about your state of well-being. But what is natural is not necessarily spiritual. You see, Jesus in this passage, in the Sermon on the Mount, is talking to folks who really needed some spiritual guidance for their everyday lives. They needed something that they could apply and to understand right away. Of course, the early church was to understand this teaching to be designed for them as well. But the people Jesus was speaking to during the presentation of the Sermon on the Mount were not yet Christians. They were Jewish believers. And in that context, he specifically contrasts their worldview with that of the Gentiles. He says, your heavenly Father knows you need these things, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. You see, Jesus was talking to spiritual people. He knew that their priorities needed to be brought back to the spiritual over the natural. And we see that specifically because this edification, this admonition, this teaching is exactly that. It's not just something nice we say to encourage ourselves to feel better or to not be concerned about things. It is, in fact, a teaching, something that we're supposed to apply to our lives. And we can see that because the immediately preceding passage, starting at verse 16, goes this way. Whenever you fast, do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance so that they will be truly noticed by men when they are fasting. Truly, I say to you, they have their reward in full. But you, when you fast, anoint your head, wash your face, so that your fasting will not be noticed by men, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in or steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Now, here's the passage where I think we sometimes see a break between these two ideas, right? But it's really a linking material. This is just as much a part of this passage as the material preceding and proceeding it. The eye is the lamp of the body. So then, if your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light is in you as darkness, how great the darkness. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth. For this reason, I say to you, do not be worried about your life, as to what you will eat or drink, nor for your body, as to what you will put on. Is life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? You see what's connected there? Jesus is talking about the priorities that we have, where our concerns are. The people he was talking to were looking at outward appearances and not merely just survival. He is talking about people being overly concerned with the surface of things. And he's specifically saying, don't be like the hypocrites, right? Don't be like the people who, that Greek word means people who put on an outward appearance. It actually, by Jesus' day, only meant what we think of it now, people who are sort of two-faced, say one thing but do another. But it was originally a word which applied to a Greek actor who would wear a mask to play a character, so you could tell which character was being played by the face that they put on. And that really is applicable to the way that it was extended even to this time, that sort of two-faced nature. Jesus is specifically asking them to be mindful of this kind of hypocrisy, the sort of two-faced nature that they may have been struggling with. The people that Jesus is talking to needed to know that spiritual people have a focus not on the outward appearance and not on even survival necessarily, but on trust in God. That for the things that they are asking through prayer and fasting, that God is going to be faithful to fulfill them. And they don't need to worry about the outward appearance or the conditions under which that prayer and fasting takes place. But rather than that, doing it in a spirit of faithfulness and trust in God. Because after all, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will care for itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So, I hope this has been beneficial to you. I hope it's something that you can take and apply to your life, and you can continue to grow from. I look forward to seeing you all again sometime soon. Bye.